So, we are done with the list of goods, and now we will be discussing the list of services which are exempt from GST. A notification number 12/2017 Central Tax dated 28th June 2017 has been passed. It has exempted various services wholly from CGST. There are around 23 services on which no GST is levied. We will be discussing about all these entries in the current session. So let's talk about the list of services. Let's first know the names of the activities. It is relating to agriculture, government services, construction services, charitable and religious activities, passenger transport services, goods transport services, educational services, life insurance business, banking and financial services, pension schemes, specified bodies, general insurance business, health care services, business facilitator correspondent, services provided to government, leasing services, legal services, sponsorship of sports event, skill development services, performance by an artist, right to admission to various events, services by an unincorporated body or non-profit entity, and last but not the least, some other exempt services. Let's start with the first topic, which is relating to agricultural services. So, in case of agriculture related services, I have provided you a list of activities. If you are performing any such activity, then no GST shall be levied. Let's discuss one by one all of them. Services by way of loading, unloading, packing, storage or warehousing of rice. Services by way of warehousing of minor forest produce. Services by way of fumigation in a warehouse of agricultural produce. Services relating to cultivation of plants and rearing of all life forms of animals, except rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material or other similar products or agricultural produce by way of agricultural operations directly relating to production of any agricultural produce, including cultivation, harvesting, threshing, plant protection or testing, supply of farm labor, processes carried out at an agricultural farm, like if you are doing any agricultural activity on an agricultural farm, like cutting, harvesting, drying, cleaning, trimming, sun drying and so on, which are not likely to alter the essential characteristics of agricultural produce, but makes it only marketable for the primary market. If you are renting or leasing any agro machinery or vacant land with or without a structure incidental to its use, whether you are loading, unloading, packing, storing or warehousing agricultural produce, doing any agricultural extension services, doing any services which is being offered by any agricultural produce marketing committee or board of services provided by a commission agent for sale or purchase of agricultural produce, or whether you are fumigating in a warehouse of agricultural produce. Or also, if you are rendering services by way of artificial insemination of livestock other than horses, or carrying out an intermediate production process as job work in relation to cultivation of plants and rearing of all life forms of animals, except rearing of horses for food, fiber, fuel, raw material or other similar products or agricultural produce. So, horses are not covered in this category. So, if you are performing any such activity, they all will be counted under the head agriculture and no GST shall be levied on any of them. So, this is the list of agricultural services which you are offering. Now let's discuss about some government services. Services which are being provided by governmental authority by way of any activity in relation to any function entrusted to a municipality are wholly exempt. Also, if any services are being provided by government authority in relation to any function entrusted to a panchayat, then also it is exempt. Or if central, state, union territory or local authorities are providing any services excluding, note these points, excluding the following services, rest all other services are exempt. So what are in the exclusion list? Like services by the Department of Post by way of speed post, express parcel post, life insurance and agency services provided to a person other than central government, state government or union territory, or services in relation to an aircraft or a vessel inside or outside the precincts of a port or an airport, or if you are transporting goods or passengers, or if you are rendering any services other than the services covered in the above 3 points. So, if any service is being offered to a business entity, then also it is excluded. That is, in these 4 scenarios, Department of Post, services in relation to aircraft or vessel, transportation of goods or passengers, or services in relation to business entities. These 4 are excluded from the exemption list, and hence on these services we will levy GST. Next, if services are being provided by central or state government or union or local authority to a business entity whose aggregate turnover is up to rupees 20 lakh, and in case of special category states we will be looking at the limit of rupees 10 lakh. Next, but for this case also we have excluded a service, that is renting of immovable property. In case of renting of immovable property, no limit will be seen and the entire amount is subject to GST. Next, if central, state, union or local authorities are providing services to another state government, another central government or union territory or local authority, then it will be completely exempt. If services are being provided by central, state, union or local authority where the consideration for such service does not exceed rupees 5,000 in a financial year, then it is exempt. If government entities are providing services to central government, state government, union territory, local authority or any person specified by CGSD, UT or local authority against consideration received from central, state, union territory or local authority in the form of grants. Services by any old age home which is being run and operated by central or state government or by any entity which is registered under section 12 AA of Income Tax Act 1961 to its residents whose age is more than 60 years, that is 60 years or more, against a consideration up to rupees 25,000 per month per member is exempt. Services which are being supplied by central, state, union territory to their undertakings or public sector undertakings by way of guaranteeing the loan taken by such undertaking or PSUs from the banking company or financial institutions. If services are being provided by central, state, union territory or local authority by way of registration or for testing or for any safety check of their workers, consumers, checking the licenses, etc., then also it is exempt. If a service is being provided by central, state, union territory or local authority by way of issuance of passport, visa, that is you are knowing that passport offices are being run, driving licensing offices are there, any birth certificates are being provided or issued or death certificates are issued, then this service is also free. No GST is levied. Services provided by CG, SG, union territory or local authority by way of tolerating non-performance of a contract for which consideration in the form of fines or liquidated damages is payable to the central, state or union territory or local authority. Services which are being provided by central government, state government, union territory or local authority by way of assignment of right to use natural resources to an individual farmer for cultivation of plants and rearing of all life forms of animals, except rearing of horses. Again, horses has been excluded for food, fiber, fuel, raw material or similar products. Next, services are being offered by central, state, union territory by way of deputing officers after office hours or on holidays for inspection. So, if any officer is being appointed after office hours or on holidays for inspection in relation to importing of any export cargo or import cargo, then the service is excluded. No GST is levied on the amount which we pay to the officer. Services supplied by state government to Access Royalty Collection Contractor. Remember this name, Access Royalty Collection Contractor, by way of assigning the rights to collect royalty on behalf of state government on the mineral dispatched by the mining leasing holders. So, this is also exempt. Services provided by rehabilitation professionals recognized under the Rehabilitation Council of India Act 1992 by way of rehabilitation, therapy or counseling and such other activities as covered by the said Act at medical establishments, educational institutions, rehabilitation centers established by CG, SD, Union Territory or an entity registered under Section 12AA of IT Act 1961. So, this is a very broad list in respect of government services, that is, if any of such services is being offered by government to any other government or to any business entity, then it is exempt. Hope you have understood this list, but you need to remember that there were certain exclusions like post office, transportation, there was a limit on old age home of rupees 25,000 per month, there was a limit of rupees 5,000 where services are being provided and the value of service should be less than rupees 5,000 and so on. So, they were the exception cases. If you exceed those limits, then GST will be levied. So, next comes the construction services. Let's start about construction services, where services are being provided by way of pure labor contract. This is the most important word which you have to remember, and there is a Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and Housing for All Urban Mission Yojana, which is being operated by the Government of India. So, if any services are being provided by way of pure labor contracts for construction, erection, commissioning, installing, completion, fitting out, repair, maintenance, renovation or alteration or any other original work pertaining to the beneficiary led individual house construction or enhancement under the Housing for All Urban Mission or Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, then it is exempt. So, you have to remember the name of the Yojana and the mission. Next, if services are being supplied by the electricity distribution utility by way of construction, erection, again the same thing, commissioning or installing of infrastructure for extending electricity distribution network up to the tube well of the farmers or agriculturists. So, remember they are talking about farmers over here. So, if any electricity distribution utility services is being offered to the farmers, then it is exempt. Next, services by way of pure labor contract on construction, erection, commissioning or installing of original work pertaining to a single residential unit, otherwise then as a part of residential complex. That is, if it is a part of residential complex, then GST will be levied, but if it is not a part of residential complex, then no GST shall be levied. Supply of TDR, FSI, long-term lease, premium of land by a landowner to a developer is also exempt under the said scenario, subject to the condition that constructed flats are sold before issuance of completion certificate and taxes paid on them. Then it is exempt. Next, so The construction services comes to an end. By this we have studied three concepts. One is agricultural, second is government, the third one is construction. So let's start with the fourth service, which is charitable and religious activities. For rendering any services regarding charitable or religious, you have to get yourself registered under section 12AA of the Income Tax Act 1961 by way of charitable activities, that is under the heading of charitable activities. So services are being offered by an entity who has got herself registered under section 12AA. So now what type of services you will be offering? That is services by way of conducting of any religious ceremony, renting of the religious place which is meant for general public, that is renting to general public. However, so only two points are there, that is conducting any religious ceremony or renting the religious place for meant for general public, but no exemption will be granted if the place which you have rented to general public, there you are charging the rent for rooms of rupees 1000 or more per day. If the amount being charged is more than rupees 1000 per day, then it will come under the ambit of GST. Or if you are renting the premise and you are charging an amount of rupees more than rupees 10,000 per day. So it is like the room rent, if it is more than rupees 1000 or just 1000 also, that is 1000 or more, or if the premise that is being rented, if the rent amount is rupees 10,000 or more, then in that case no exemption will be provided and GST shall be levied. So the next service is passenger transport services. That is, if you are transporting passengers from one place to another with or without accompanied belongings by air, embarking from or terminating in an airport located in the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim or Tripura, or at Bangdokra located in West Bengal, or through any non-air conditioned contract carriage other than radio taxi for transportation of passengers excluding tourist, because tourist is taxable, conducted tour, charter or hire, or stage carriage other than air conditioned stage carriage. If you fall in any of the above categories, then no GST shall be levied. Exceptions are the tourist. The other one is services that are being provided by central government by way of transport of passengers with or without accompanied belongings by air, embarking from or terminating at regional connectivity scheme airport against consideration in the form of viability gap funding. However, nothing will apply on or after expiry of 3 years from the date of commencement of operation of the regional connectivity scheme airport as notified by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. That is, this exemption is provided to the airport only for initial period of 3 years if you are just a new set up airport. But if 3 years have already elapsed and you do not fall under the category of regional connectivity scheme airport, then GST shall be levied. Next, services of transportation of passengers with or without accompanied belongings by railway in a class other than first class or AC coach. That is, if passengers are going through railway in the first class or in a AC coach, then GST shall be levied, otherwise no GST shall be levied. Similarly, no GST shall be levied if you are going through metro, monorail or tramway, or you are going through inland waterways, or you are using the public transport, or even you are using metered cabs or auto rickshaws, that is e-rickshaws. In that cases, no GST shall be levied. So this is all about public transport services. Now let's discuss about goods transport services. That is, if services are being offered by way of transportation of goods by road or by inland waterways, then it is exempt. But if you are using the facility of road through goods transport agency or through a courier agency, then in that case GST shall be levied. Secondly, services which are being offered by transportation through rail or vessel from one place to another, carrying the following goods, that is the goods relating to disaster, if any disaster has taken place. So we are required to shift some goods from one location to another location, that is as a relief mechanism due to calamities, accidents, mishappenings, under defense or military equipments, newspapers or magazines which are registered under the registrar of newspapers, railway equipments, agricultural produce, milk, salt, food grains including flour, pulses and rice, and organic manure, then they are exempt. Other scenarios are services are being offered by a goods transport agency by way of transport in a goods carriage, that is the goods transport agency if they are carrying agriculture produce, or they are carrying goods where the value does not exceed rupees 1500, or if they are carrying milk, salt, food grains including flour, pulses and rice, or organic manure, or newspapers, the same points are covered over here, or magazines registered with registrar of newspapers, relief material meant for victims of natural or man-made disasters, calamities, accidents or mishappenings, or defense or military equipments, or services that are being provided by a goods transport agency to any unregistered person, including an unregistered casual taxable person other than the following recipients, that is I am reading out the points which are in the exception list. So for these services GST shall be levied, that is if you are being covered under any factory with that factory is registered under the Factories Act 1948, if you are a society registered under Society Registration Act 1860, if you are a cooperative society established under any law, or any body established under any law, or any partnership firm whether registered or unregistered, or if you are a casual taxable person, then in that scenario GST shall be levied. The other point is where services are being provided by goods transport agency by way of transport of goods in a goods carriage to a local authority or to any government agency or department or any establishment of CG, SG or union territory, then in that scenario also no GST shall be levied. Next service comes out to be educational service. So I suppose this is the most important service in which you all and including me are interested. So if any services are being provided by any educational institution to its students, faculty and staff, then it is exempt. If any educational institution is providing any services by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee, then also it is exempt, that is no GST is levied. If services are being provided to an educational institution by way of transportation of students, faculty and staff, catering including midday meal scheme, security or cleaning or housekeeping services performed in such educational institution, services relating to admission or conduct of examination by such institution, supply of any online educational journal or periodicals. So all these services are exempt. What is important to be noted over here is that we are talking about higher education. We are not talking about preschool education or education up to standard 12th. So we are talking about education level above 12th and preschool. So if any services are being offered in the areas of preschool or up to 12th or as a part of vocational education services, then it is taxable. It is not exempt, because usually these services are not offered in those scenarios and areas. Now let's discuss the next topic, which is about life insurance business. We all have taken life insurance policies. So now let's know something about the life insurance policies which are being offered by government, on which no GST is levied. It's going to be a good and advantageous point for you all. Like if services of life insurance are being provided by way of NUTs, that is on per month basis, under the National Pension Scheme, NPS scheme, regulated by the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India under the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Act 2013, then it is exempt. That is, if you have taken any policy under the national pension system, then that services is free from GST. Services of life insurance business which are being provided or agreed to be provided by the Army, Naval and Air Force Group Insurance Fund. So if any services are being offered under the Army, Naval and Air Force Group Insurance Fund to its members only, then it is exempt. Next, services of life insurance that are being provided or agreed to be provided by the Naval Group Insurance Fund to the personnel of Coast Guard under the group insurance scheme of the central government, and services of life insurance provided under the following scheme. The names of schemes are Janashri Bima Yojana, Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana, Life Micro Insurance Product as approved by the Insurance Regulatory and Developmental Authority having maximum amount of cover of rupees 2 lakh, Varishth Pension Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandan Yojana. So these are the names of different yojanas which government are running. If you have taken any insurance policy under any of them, then it is fully exempt under the GST scenario.